Hi guys, my name is Carla, I'm forever jet lagged and welcome back to my channel. In today's episode we have another story time. I noticed you guys liked my story times and so I decided to make another one. This time we're gonna talk about my first weekend in Dubai. So let's get started! As some of you may know, my name is Carla. I am from Romania. I worked for Emirates Airlines for 4 years and a half. I stopped when COVID started. I have to say, joining Emirates was one of the best decisions I ever made. If you want to know more about how I got into Emirates, go back to my previous video. I'm gonna put it right here. And let's talk about my first weekend in Dubai. So I got hired. They gave me 1 month to prepare everything, to quit my job. I was working as a receptionist in a hotel, pack my bags, get everything sorted. I already had a group of girls. We all went to the interview together. We all got accepted together. So we were gonna fly together to Dubai. We had a Facebook group. We used to talk there, freak out, prepare all the medicals, everything that you need to prepare before you arrive in Dubai. We met in the airport, all of us. We had the same flight. We reached Dubai. In Dubai, somebody was waiting for us to do a bit of introduction. They gave us a SIM card, some documents, and then there was a driver waiting to take us to our accommodations. I remember the first thing I noticed once I got out of the airport, it was the heat. I arrived in Dubai 1st of June in 2016. If you guys know anything about Dubai, is that summer there is horrible. It's very, very hot and very humid. I arrived and I remember this huge heat wave hit my face and it was 5 a.m. I expected it to be a bit chilly maybe, right before sunrise. No, it was hot. Anyway, I got in the car, the driver was very nice. He dropped me at my accommodation, which was a hotel because all the Emirates accommodations were full when I joined and then they put me in a hotel. It was a hotel apartment, so I did have a flatmate. But when I arrived, she was not home. I mentioned this in my previous video, the funny story of meeting her. She had no idea I was gonna come. She was on a flight when I arrived. I saw her stuff around, so I knew somebody lives there, but I didn't know who, I didn't know where she's from, nothing. Anyway, I arrived, I started unpacking, I texted my parents that everything's okay, I'm fine. Around 5:30, I think I went to bed and I was trying to sleep. As soon as I was, falling asleep, I heard somebody singing / shouting. I don't know exactly how to describe it because now I know what it was, but in that moment I freaked out. It was the prayer. In Dubai, they pray 5 times a day. In Muslim culture, they pray 5 times a day, and this was the Fajr. It's the dawn prayer. It's the first prayer of the day. And if you live next to a mosque, you will hear it because they put it in loudspeakers, so everybody knows that it's time for them to pray. In this hotel, they had it actually on the hallways in the speakers, so they used to play it all the time. For me, of course, it was a huge cultural shock because I will admit I was a bit ignorant. I didn't know much about Dubai and about Muslims and about their culture, their religion. I didn't know much. It really scared me because I was, alone in bed, in a new place, in a new country. I was very stressed, very anxious, excited. And then I was trying to sleep and I hear this thing. It was interesting. So I arrived on a Wednesday. What Emirates does is they try to bring you to Dubai during the week, and then Thursday is your induction day and you have the whole weekend, and then on Sunday you start your training because back then the week in Dubai started on Sunday. Now recently, about 2-3 months ago, they changed it and the week starts on Monday, but back then it was Sunday. Wednesday night I arrive, Thursday morning I have induction day. As I mentioned, my flatmate was not home when I arrived. In the morning I woke up on Thursday to get ready to go to my induction day, and we scare each other in the kitchen because I woke up to have my coffee, to get ready. She just landed from a flight. She still had her uniform on and everything. For me, it was very exciting to see her in uniform. You know, it's the dream to get your uniform. So yeah, we scared each other. She had no idea I came. I had no idea who she was or when will she come back home. We met. She is from India. At that point, I believe she was working in business class. She was in the company for 3 years or more than 3 years. So she had a bit of experience. She gave me a bit of tips. She told me not to worry, everything's gonna be fine. She was actually very sweet. After that, I go to my induction day. Induction day is something that happens in Emirates headquarters. You go to a conference room, all of you that are joining on the same day. It wasn't just me and my Romanian colleagues, it was everybody from all over the world. It's called your date of joining group because you all joined at the same date. They tell you your batches, which from this big group of people, they split it into smaller groups, which is a batch. In your batch, they mix you up with different nationalities. I remember we were, I think, 2 Romanians, 2 girls from Paraguay, 1 girl from Japan, 1 guy from Belgium, 2 guys from Egypt, all mixed nationalities. So they tell you your batches, they put you into these groups. You get to meet your manager, you get to meet some people from HR, some people from management, and they do a bit of presentation about Dubai and about Emirates and what you're gonna do. The most, let's say, important is that they give you your red t-shirt, which is your uniform for the first part of your training until you get your proper flying uniform. You're supposed to wear this red t-shirt, which is a polo shirt with black pants, and for guys black shoes, and for girls black ballerina shoes or very simple sneakers. So yeah, this was Thursday. I finished with my induction day. I went back home to unpack, to talk to my family. Of course, I was missing them like crazy. I was still in a bit of a state of shock, let's say. Like, I wasn't realizing that I'm there, that it's happening, it has started. My mind was still a bit back home. So this was my Thursday day. On Friday, I spoke to the Romanian girls that I came to Dubai with, and we decided to go out. Now, I did mention that it was June, so it was hot. It wasn't the hottest month of the year, but it was already hot. And me and 2 other girls, we decided to go out. What we did is we took the metro to the center, and then us, being used to European summer, we said, it's okay, we can walk. You know, we're broke, by the way. We don't have a lot of money. We haven't got our salary. We haven't got anything. We only have whatever money we came with from home. We're like, okay, let's take the metro to the center and then we walk around, we discover, you know, all these things. So we did. In June, it was 40 degrees outside, humid, and we decided, like proper newbies, like proper tourists, to walk around in the city center. Another thing about Dubai is that the whole city is highway. There is some areas where you can walk around, but there are not so many, and especially in the city center, it's quite hard to walk around. And especially in June, you don't see anybody outside walking. Everybody is in a car, on a bike, doesn't matter, but they're not outside. We were the only ones walking around, trying to get from one side to the other, and you cannot because it's a highway. You need to find a tunnel, like a metro tunnel. Some parts of it, there's not even a sidewalk, so you don't know where to walk. It was interesting. So this is a first tip. I know you want to discover Dubai when you reach there. I know you want to walk around and you want to, you know, see everything. Don't walk around. Especially if it's summer, don't walk around because it's very hot, it's very humid, and more than that, it's not safe. Like I said, sidewalks are not that common in some areas, and it's not safe to walk on the side of the road with cars driving on a highway, basically. So don't do that. You'll have time to discover it, you'll have time to see it. Don't do it on your second day in Dubai because it wasn't a good idea. Anyway, we did this, we walked around the whole day. We went from downtown to another area that is called Marina. which is like a port. In Marina, you can walk around, there is more space to walk around, but again, it was very hot, so we didn't really enjoy it. We were very impressed by Dubai because you see Burj Khalifa, you see all the skyscrapers. In downtown and in Marina as well, there is a very beautiful area with skyscrapers. You have the water. It's all very nice and we're very impressed. I remember I felt like crying when I saw Burj Khalifa, and I was talking to these two girls that I went out with, and we were like, we cannot believe we're here. It's a very nice feeling, but yeah, I also remember the heat, so don't do it. So this was my Friday. And then Saturday, I remember I just stayed home. I didn't do much. I wanted to finish unpacking because Sunday is your first day of training. I wanted to have everything ready, you know, iron my red t-shirt, prepare my pants, everything, talk to my family again. So I didn't do much on Saturday. Also, I had a friend from Romania. It was very funny because the Emirates accommodations, as I said, they were all full. So they put me in a hotel. My batchmates, my other people from the same date of joining, they were all in two main accommodations. And I was the only one that I was put in the other hotel, that none of my date of joining people were there. But I did have a friend, we knew each other for years from back home. I texted her and I told her before I went to Dubai, they're gonna put me in this building, do you know where it is, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, are you kidding? I live in this building. More than that, they put us on the same floor. We were literally next door. I don't know, it was a coincidence. It was amazing. She was already there for, I think, 2 months. She already started flying. So when I arrived, she was on a flight and we couldn't meet. But I knew she was gonna come back on Sunday. I couldn't wait to meet her because I needed to see a familiar face. Everybody else that I met and the girls that I went out with, yes, they were very nice and everything, but they were still new people in my life. They were still, in a way, strangers. I didn't feel that comfortable. I needed to see a familiar face. Thank God I had her. So on Sunday, I was waiting for her to come back from her flight. I also had my first day of training. First day of training, I don't remember much because we didn't properly start training. It was again kind of like an introduction day. We met our trainers, the batch mates again. It was a bit of a take it easy day. And then at night, I met my friend. I finally met my friend. So I arrived home. There was a bus taking me from the hotel to training college and then from training college back to the hotel. I texted her, I'm here, let's meet. You know, I couldn't wait to see her. So yeah, we met and we went out. She invited another friend that was her batchmate, an Egyptian guy. And she was like, okay, this guy wants to go out as well. Let's go somewhere to a bar, have a drink, you know, talk about it. How was your first day? She had a lot of things to tell me about her flights, so let's catch up. So we did. We went to a bar in the area that we used to live in. It was a rooftop bar, very nice. We got a bottle of wine, we started talking, you know, all good. And then I remember around 11:30 p.m. the waitress comes and she's like, you know, are you gonna order any more drinks? Because starting from midnight, we are not gonna serve alcohol anymore. I was like, okay, that's a bit weird. Like, why? Are you closing or do we need to leave? She's like, no, but Ramadan starts. And then from midnight on, we cannot serve alcohol anymore. And that was my second cultural shock. Like I said, I was a bit ignorant. I didn't know much about Islam. I didn't know much about Dubai. Ramadan is a holiday that happens every summer. The date changes according to the moon. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know the date changes. It's a 1-month holiday. And in this holiday in Dubai, they don't serve alcohol. Most of the bars and clubs and all these things are closed. Between sunrise and sunset, you are not allowed to eat outside or drink water because the Muslims, they are fasting. From sunrise to sunset, they are fasting. They don't even drink water, they don't eat, nothing. And you as an expat, as an immigrant, they have these rules, so you respect their religion, and you also are not allowed to eat or drink outside. In your own home, you can do whatever you want. There are some restaurants that are open. It's just that they cover their windows. They put like a black curtain, let's say, in their windows. So from the outside, you cannot see inside. This is Ramadan. more or less as to the rules that they have in Dubai during Ramadan. And like I said, this is 1 month. I had no idea. I heard about Ramadan before, but I didn't know the rules. I didn't know what it means exactly, what am I supposed to do or not do. Yeah, it was, again, another cultural shock because I just arrived. I still had no idea where I am and what am I doing. And then Ramadan hits, another set of rules that I need to follow. And in training college, they actually do follow these things. You were not allowed to eat in class. You were not allowed to drink water or even chewing gum. You're not allowed to smoke. At that point, I was a smoker. So yeah, there is a lot of rules. And in training college, they do follow them. So you need to be mindful of that and follow them, to be respectful to their culture and their religion. So yeah, this was my first weekend in Dubai. It was a roller coaster of emotions. It was intense. It was a huge cultural shock for me. Another thing that I didn't mention, and it struck me a bit as another cultural shock, is that you will see men and women wearing their national attire, women wearing abayas and men wearing kanduras. This for me again was a cultural shock. Now I got used to it. I don't notice it anymore, but at that point, coming from Europe, I was trying not to stare and not to be wow, you know, have this reaction. It's a lot to take in when you first come to Dubai. Emirates does help you. They try to make it easier for you. But apart from the fact that you are away from your family, you are also in a new place that is completely different to what you know, to what you grew up with, to your culture. Now, this depends where you're coming from. But for me, as a European, it was pretty difficult to adjust to these changes. I was very lucky having my friend there. She helped a lot. We used to hang out every day, all day together. That really helped to have a familiar face, but it's not easy. It's intense. Once training starts, it's a bit easier because you don't really have time to focus on the cultural differences, but the first days I believe, are the hardest. Now looking back, I am so happy I did it. The fact that I went through it, even though I was scared, really helped. It helped me grow and it helped me become stronger, and it taught me so many things because apart from the traveling part, you also learn a lot by living in a foreign country. Whether it's Dubai or another country or city, you do learn a lot. So if you got a bit scared by this video, don't worry. It's not that bad, and I'm very happy I did it, and you should do it too if that's what you want to do. Go and apply to that interview, do your best to get the job, come to Dubai, you can do it. If I could do it, and I'm a very fragile, sensitive person, you can do it too, and anybody can. So this is where our story time ends. We talked about my first weekend in Dubai, my first experiences, my first thoughts, the intense cultural shock that I had, all these changes that I went through. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I made you laugh a bit. I hope you learned also a little bit about what to expect when you go to Dubai. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave them in the comments. I will make sure to reply to each and every one of you. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and I'll see you next week.